Welcome back to Yoshi Entertainment, everybody. So just recently, Khloe Kardashian took to the internet and expressed that she was not feeling, and I quote, connected to her son, her most recent child, who she had through a surrogate. Now, before I start this, we need to have an honest and open conversation about this kind of stuff. I understand that there are some women who want to have children, but they have fertility issues. There are some men who have fertility issues. It's nothing to be ashamed of, but unfortunately in our society, people love to shame people who can't have children. It's sad, it's disgusting, and it should not be done. There are some people that, unfortunately, because of health problems, their doctors have told them you cannot have a baby because they either won't survive it, the baby won't survive it, or both of them won't survive it. So they either have to adopt or they get a surrogate. Now, some people feel like adopting and getting a surrogate is essentially the same thing. You have somebody else who has birthed a child into this world that you are choosing now to love and to show affection and to discipline and raise as if you gave birth to that child yourself. Now, of course, I think, the surrogate process is a little different, of course. And I don't feel like people handle that difference and that responsibility with the care that it should be handled with. I don't think that people handle adopting kids with the care and the responsibility that it should be handled with. We see this all the time. Now, I'm not saying that there are, that no people who have adopted have handled it correctly. Of course, there are plenty of women and men who have adopted, who raised and loved their children properly. But there's a lot more, unfortunately, who adopt these kids for the wrong reasons. They try to fill some kind of void thinking that, if I just adopt, it'll fill that void of not being able to have children, only to find out that it did not, that they needed to get some, self, reflection done. They needed to get some Jesus in their life and some therapy to process that and to heal before they went out and got a child, if that's still what they wanted to do, and tried to use that child to fill some voids. And it might not even be the void of not being able to have kids. Some people just adopted kids for their own selfish reasons, had no intentions of really doing what was required as an adopted parent, and those children had to suffer. So like I said, before these decisions are made, these people need to be in the right headspace. They need to be healthy-minded, not double-minded, non-toxic adults who have a functional relationship, because I don't care what anybody says. You need a husband and you need a wife, a mother and a father who are both healthy, like I said, non-toxic, to bring that child into that environment so that they can be raised properly. And if you don't have that, you need to leave them alone, because a lot of kids have been messed up because of a lack of those things. It's no different with a surrogate mother. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like people forget that this is another woman carrying this child. You've had children, you understand what it's like carrying that child for X amount of months in your womb. You're attached to them. They're a part of you. They grew in you. So it hits different when you birth them. That's your child. Okay, you care about them. Now, there are some women, they have issues. They might have been through something, or they're not good people. They're not good women. And even when they've, gone through all of that, they birth those children, they don't do right by them. But the average mother, she's carrying a baby for 9 months. That baby's staying with her. You know what I'm saying? But when you have a surrogate or you're adopting, that's not a child that you birthed, that you grew in your womb. So I feel like the connection is going to be different. And like I said, if you're not a healthy-minded individual that's not toxic, that has issues, you're not going to see it any other way. You're not going to handle that child with the proper love and care and respect that they deserve to be handled with. And unfortunately, I feel like that is what's happening in this situation. When she took to the internet and said that she did not feel connected with her son, I felt like that was a morbidly damaging thing to do. Some people love to say, at least she's being honest, and they're applauding her honest. No, she needs to be honest in a private setting to a therapist and to some person who, can introduce her to the Lord, because all of her and her family, they need the Lord. And they're certainly going to need therapy and the Lord to be able to raise these children right. Especially her, because she's essentially going to be raising him by herself. Well, with her family, but as a single mother without the help of the father, because we all know what Tristan Thompson is about. She should have never took to the internet and publicly said that. Now, I know people can scrub the internet, but for the most part, this stuff is not going anywhere. I've said this 1,000 times. This is going to be on the internet forever. Now, what would be sad is for this child to grow up. He's 18 years old. He understands what all this means, and he sees that on the internet and goes to his mother and said, so you didn't feel connected to me whenever you had me? You chose to go and get a surrogate mother, and I get it. It might have been because she was having either fertility issues or her health could not allow her to have another baby. But that's not his fault. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I feel like parents make what they're going through, what they chose to do, who they chose to go jump in bed with and get pregnant for, their child's fault. And it's really unfair and sad. That's why I say over and over again, I do not feel sorry for none of them Kardashians. I feel sorry for them kids because they got raggedy, incompetent parents who I just feel sorry for them. I'll put it that way. I have my own theories for why I feel like she feels the way she does. But again, what stands true is that when she did not birth him herself, which is, again, I'm saying I understand because she probably had health problems. And I don't think she took this process seriously because she even said herself that, quote, her head was buried in the sand during the pregnancy. And then when he got here, it was like, poof, you have a child automatically or all of a sudden. It wasn't like this child, is growing in you. You see him growing. You feel him growing. The changes are being made. And in the birthing process, it was like, she had forgot, I guess, that she even did this. And then all of a sudden she has a baby to take care of that she's now responsible for. Some people are comparing it to buyer's remorse and saying that maybe she's just upset because the baby doesn't look a certain kind of way, allegedly. I'm just saying what's going on Twitter. And I am inclined to agree with them. Again, I feel like the responsibility was not there. I believe she wanted a baby. She wanted a mixed baby, allegedly. And then when she got it, all of a sudden she realized, oh my God, I have another baby now. And she doesn't know what to do. Like I said, a morbid misuse and mishandling of the responsibility that she should have been responsible for that baby. And it's really sad because he does not deserve that. That child doesn't deserve that at all. He didn't ask to be brought in this world. He did not ask to have these kind of parents. He didn't ask to have people, like I said, bring him into this world that were going to make really sad and piss poor and heinous decisions on his behalf. And it doesn't do anything with the rumor that they like to prop up their daughters, put their daughters out there, but hide their sons and act like they don't exist. Like I said, it's an alleged rumor because I don't see very many pictures of him on the internet. And the few that I do see, his face is not even really facing the camera. And you can tell the difference that she already has made whenever it comes to her daughter and him, allegedly, just by how she talks about them. I don't know if you've noticed that. But anyways, I feel like all of this is just her reaping what she sowed. We're not going to sit up here and act like this woman is innocent, that she's an angel, because she's not. She's done plenty of dirt and wrong to people, to whole demographics. She keeps making the same stupid decision to go back to the same raggedy individual and get pregnant for the same raggedy individual that's not going to give her any more attention, despite how many babies she has for him, or love them anymore, because the only person he loves is himself. He might show up to see him because that's, barely what's required of him, so that he don't have to worry about people dragging him. And I still don't believe that he cares about that at all. But she made the decision to lay down with him, and I'm not putting it all on her. I'm putting it on him too, because he's raggedy too, knowing that he's not going to help take care of these kids. He's not going to do what's required as a father and keeps getting these women pregnant. So throw them all under the bus is what I say, except for the kids, because they didn't ask for this. But like I said, I believe she's reaping what she's sowing. I just hate that the kids have to be in the mix as well. They're in the crossfire. It's not fair to them. It's not right for them. And like I said, I stand by what I said, and I said what I said. She was heinous for what she said about that baby. Anyways, y'all let me know what y'all thinking, how y'all feel down in the comments below respectfully. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Y'all have a blessed day.